Good morning, everyone. I wanted to do this video on, well, I like to call it fundamentalist atheism. And I'm not the one who coined that term, although I thought of it this morning and decided to look it up because the idea of atheism is based on reason as to whether or not science can disprove God. And the Christians are on the other side of the fence, where they say that science can be the evil or the one that takes us away from God. Now, fundamentalism merely means that a group of people adhere strictly to a belief system. Fundamentalist Christians started out by as a movement in the U.S. to try to abolish these New Age Christian movements and to try to take the mystery out of the religion and to put it back into it. Holy shit. It's a squirrel attack over there. Sorry. To try to put back into perspective the religion of Christianity in a form that was adaptable for everyone, where everyone followed the same principles, the same ideas, like Christians getting together saying, okay, this is what we believe. Something that a lot of people wish they did. Well, fundamentalist atheists have taken the same approach by basically saying this is how it is, there is no God, there is no other realm, we are here, we are material. And that's fine too, because everyone has their own belief system. The only reason I bring this up is because I watch these videos from this guy, and he makes these funny videos about their little cartoon videos about God, and he uses those I don't know, what are those weird programs where there's really the cheesy characters and stuff, and but he puts voices to it that kind of ask questions about, like, if God's omnipotent, then why does this happen, and why does this happen? And I asked a question about the video, and I said, I'm just curious, why as an atheist it's so important to you to do this? Why are atheists so adamant about pushing their ideas? And I wanted to know, I said, I want to know the end game, the result, not, I started getting all these answers from other people. I'm obviously asking the maker of the video, but I started getting hounded by all these other people saying the same old stuff I've heard, because religion does this, and because religion has destroyed the world, and it's corrupt, and this and that. Okay, we know about all the problems in history. My question was to the author about what's the end game here? What are you trying to do? Because one of the responses I got was, it said it's all about truth versus fantasy, it's all about acceptance versus tolerance. And I'm like, okay, so you're telling me it's all about tolerance, but here you are bashing religion. I mean, you can't see the hypocrisy in this. So what atheists like to say is that they have evidence based on, on science. So what we end up with is this weird juncture in something I realized today: subjectivity versus objectivity. If you're objective, you can look at all the information and put together your own assessment, but most of us use our subjectivity, our subjective experience, to base our opinions on. And I think that society's problem, the atheist problem, is that they think they're very aware that subjectivity is not the way to approach every situation. You can't just go by how you feel about everything. I mean, sometimes you have to listen to a person to explain, hey, if you do this, this will happen. And I think that many Christians today have taken this approach. They've understood that their religion has been tainted and that it's not all that they were taught. And so they're starting to shift off to kind of a new way of thinking, and thinking a little more open and whole. And what happens is they get lumped in with all the other fundamentalist Christians. So when atheists attack a Christian, they're attacking the entire group. And they're not just attacking Christians, they're attacking religion in general. And I understand the anger there, but they always say that religion is holding us back, that religion is keeping us in the dark ages. This seems to be a recurring theme that I keep hearing. And so I just wonder to myself, can anyone answer exactly what they're holding us back from? I mean, everybody seems to have answers as to how to perpetuate our current society and continue on this path. We need to abolish this so we can move forward. We need to do this so we can move forward. but nobody yet has the answer of what moving forward is. It seems to be just printing more money, making more resources, creating more, quote, jobs out of thin air, to try to perpetuate this myth that our society is somehow successful. And this is just my opinion, but I see that religion has failed the people because of the way it's portrayed itself as a control factor. And now atheism is starting to do the same thing. What it's doing is saying that if you're an atheist and you don't believe exactly what all the other atheists believe, well, then you're kicked out. Nope, you can't believe in that. Nope, you can't have any ideas on ghosts, theology, even UFOs, whatever, whatever the particular group of atheists may think. There are small little factions within each group. So it's all based on fear. Religion is based on fear, because fear of the unknown, and atheism is fear of the religious and fear of the unknown. But really, we're all in this together, and I don't think that atheism is going to convince religion that it doesn't work, and I don't think religion is going to ever convince the atheists that religion is the way. So the result, what I came to is that we have two things, the subjective and the objective. All religion is often, not all religion, okay, let me go back. Many religious experiences are based on subjective experiences. A person goes through a moment, or has a moment of clarity, or satori, an awakening, whatever it may be, and it changes their life. And that subjective experience is often insulted by atheists just because people are corrupt, and because an individual supposedly can't know what is real. And what a lot of atheists will say is that, no, you have to look at the evidence. So, many Christians, many religious folk, their beliefs are based on subjective experience, but a lot of times it's objectivity, to looking at all the situations around you and seeing what feels right to you. And then on the other side of the fence, we have extreme atheists who take science as their religion, let's say. I mean, I'm not insulting, but I'm just saying, let's say we believe in science, because I've heard this come up a lot, that intelligence versus speculation. So what we have is the religious person who's basing his belief on his own experiences and what works for him. And then we have an atheist who's basing his beliefs on what he's being told by everyone else. Meanwhile, the same atheist is telling religious folk that they're being controlled by their religion, not realizing that his ideas are being controlled by science, because you're at the will of the scientists to tell you what is true. So here we are basing, there's no atheist who knows every angle of science, who's studied every single corner and knows everything about life. We're taking other people's research and basing it upon that, and so much of that research is flawed. The scientific journals are just as flawed as the Bible. There's no, we're constantly revising and changing our ideas on what's important and what's real. I mean, we look back on the way we thought about things 100 years ago and think, oh geez, we've changed so much, and in another 100 years it's just going to be the same way. And so I guess to wrap it up, it all comes down to, do you want to believe what everyone else is telling you, or do you want to believe what you feel? And even more than that, what's working for you? And the reason that I think that atheism isn't working for anyone is because there seems to be a large movement toward screaming through your intelligence level or trying to get your point across for some unknown reason. And that's the question. So what is the end game here? What are atheists trying to do? Are they trying to, the fundamentalist atheists, are they trying to convert everyone to atheism? Or do they think that that's some sort of a way out, an escape? Or is it just our nature that we're going to be constantly seeking something? And I think that we need to accept each other and stop making snide comments about one another, because I know Christians and I know atheists, and they're all good people. And I'm not going to try to lump all the atheists into one group, because that's not fair. And I don't think the atheists should lump all religions into one group. But even more than that, I think that atheism needs to start, because I don't really care what atheists think of me. It matters not. I think that atheists need to start thinking about what they care about each other. Because if a guy comes up with some new evidence saying, hey, look, I'm supporting, this science supports the fact that the human body has these energy fields and that, there's mathematical equations to explain nature and whatnot. Nope, don't want to hear it. And that's fundamentalism, in my opinion. No, we're atheists, this is what we believe, and this is the way it's going to be. And they're very hard-headed people often, so I can understand that because religion has caused a lot of problems. But what it all comes down to is just anger. People are angry about the way things are going, and nobody really knows where to go from here. And a lot of Christians believe that we need to beg God for help, and a lot of atheists say no, we need to beg each other for help, or change the way that we